So I wrote in a few poems about it, and at first I was really blaming my mom for the whole situation of what went down between us, and feeling like everything was her fault. And then I started to take accountability for my role in the situation, because everything is a two-way street. It's not just one person making a decision, it's two people reacting based on decisions that each of them are making. So I thought I was never going to speak to my mom again. I was like done with the situation. But as soon as I started healing and taking accountability, I started to realize my role in the matter. And I'm like, oh shoot, like I know how many good things my mom has done as well, that I'm holding on to this one bad thing. And I'm not saying that she hasn't done other things in the past, but she's done a lot of good as well. So I'm holding on to this thing and blaming her for it when I had a role to play in it as well. So that's one of the reasons why I wasn't going back, because I was like, I have no support system. It's only the kid's dad. And now how he reacted, I'm like, okay, so I still don't have a support system for it. So what's the point of going back if I'm going to be in the same position I am here, but yet I'm in paradise here? If I don't have a support system, then there's no point of going back. So I decided to reach out to my mom, and she was like, yeah, come back, I'll be here for you, all of these things, I'll give you support. And when I was there, she was helping with the kids. So since I reached out to her, she's been doing everything to try to help and thinking of me and all of these things. That's the mom that I know. Like when I need her, she's there for me. But I keep thinking about the past and making things difficult, that I usually trigger her to react in a state where she feels defensive and she feels like she has to put her armor up. However, I'm still scared, like, am I going to get triggered in that environment, not having my own space, right? So that's been a big thing for me, that I want to make sure that I can handle being in an environment where it's not just me and the kids anymore, where I'm surrounded by other people. So I've been talking to her and really trying to figure out, can we get over the past, and will I have her like unwavering support to be there for the kids when I need her? And there was one thing that she did that triggered me, whereas that she got rid of my stuff and the kids' stuff that was left there. And I was pissed. I was so upset that she got rid of that stuff, because I only have so much stuff here that I was counting on that stuff if I go back. So because I'm working on not being so reactive and not reacting from an emotional standpoint, but feeling the emotions of it, I brought it up a few times that I can't believe you gave away my stuff. Like, I wish that you had told me about it and reached out to me and actually said that, hey, I'm getting rid of your stuff, and I would have told you no. And at first she was a little bit defensive, but she's like, thank you for voicing your concerns. Like, I understand. Don't worry, we'll buy back new stuff. We'll figure it out. Like, we'll make it work, right? So it's like the last time I said, I was like, I really can't believe you did it. Like, it really hurts me that you did that, because that was your grandchildren's stuff and my stuff. And like, it meant something to me. So just giving it away really hurt me, that you didn't consider me and how I feel about it. And not attacking her, but telling her exactly how I feel. Was in the past, I would attack and be like, that like, you're a horrible person for doing this, right? So because I wasn't attacking her, that changed her state as well and how she reacts. So she finally said, I'm sorry, you're right, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. Whereas my mom has never apologized before, because of the way I've always approached her, in an attacking way. So her armor always went up, and she's like, no, I'm not apologizing. Look at the things that she's saying to me. So it's like, because I chose to just react from a place of how it made me feel, so you can feel the emotion and just tell the person how it made them feel, she chose to apologize. And that was like a huge weight taken off my shoulders, because she was taking accountability for what she did. So I was able to actually get over it, and she's saying that she'll buy back the stuff as well. So it's like, she's taking accountability, she's saying she'll replace it, and she's helping me through this whole process of me making this decision. And she's not influenced my decision. Whatever I want to make is what I want to make. But if I go back, she's like helping me. She's giving me her support, and I can see it by the way she's talking to me, the way she's interacting. Like, I have her support if I go back. So it's like, all in the way I was acting is what caused her to act a certain way. Whereas with the kid's dad, is like, if I tell him how I feel, he won't take accountability from it. He'll just divert and blame and then run away from the situation. So there's no resolution that can happen with that. All it is staying away and not being triggered by that person, by what he says, right? Whereas it's like with my mom, the fact that she took accountability and she's coming up with a solution for it was like, okay, we can work through this relationship. We can mend this. With the kid's dad, we just have to figure out how to coexist with each other, because we have kids. So it just goes to show you, how you react is how you change the dynamic of the situation. With my mom, how I chose to react change the dynamic of our relationship and how we interact with each other. Even boundaries, putting boundaries up with her. When she tries to tell me something, I say, no, I don't want that, accept it, right? And vice versa with the kid's dad. If I choose not to be reactive, then I can have a better relationship with him for the kids, right? So it's just like how we react changes everything. Just like for me, is the support more important than continuing to do it alone? Because I feel like I came here because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it alone. Before, I thought that I couldn't do it by myself. I thought that I needed help, that I needed support, that how was I going to raise 2 small children alone? Like, that was a lot of pressure to put onto me, that I put on myself. Like, that's a lot of pressure, like raising 2 kids with no community, no family support, no break, no pursuing a life for myself. Like, it's always just me and the kids. And it's like, do I want that for them as well? Like, they have my mom's love. Like, they have support where they'll feel like it's not just with their mom all the time. And like, yeah, I can build a community here, and I have met people, and I have interacted with them, and I have met up with their kids. But for me, it just doesn't feel like enough. Like, I feel like because I don't speak the language, that's a big barrier. And like, yeah, over time, I can build more of a community. I can learn the language. Like, even if I build a community, I don't really trust a lot of people to watch my kids. I don't just hand over my kids just like that. I trust my mom to watch my kids. Like, I'm very selective on who I allow my kids with. So it's like, that's a big barrier as well, that like my trust level is very low. Like, it takes a while for me to really see how the people are before I can trust them with my kids. And do they even have the time to watch my kids? Are they able to do that? And I'm pursuing my passions online, and I've been getting a lot of joy out of doing this and writing and having the freedom and the space to do that. But also, I feel like I'm ready for the next step because I've regulated my nervous system. I feel that something shifted. I had an ascension, and I'm not going back to the state of where I was like fainting and all of these things. I don't feel like it's going to come back because I reached that next level of really understanding things and just regulating my nervous system. It happens over time that your nervous system feels healed. But now I'm at a place where I want to meet like-minded individuals, like I did in the writing group and the acting workshop. Like, I met a lot of like-minded souls. So I want to go back to things like that fulfilled my soul, spoken word events, open mics, things that I thrive on, that I can perform my passions at, that I can meet people who are doing their passions that are similar to mine and co-create with them. Whereas just online, it's very lonely because you're kind of creating just by yourself, not interacting with anybody. So it's like, here it doesn't really have that because it's a different language, and I don't think they have a really big thing of events that are happening here. Whereas in Toronto, there's a bunch of events that's happening nonstop every night if you wanted to. So there's a bunch of events happening consistently that I could go to because I have the freedom to go to it, because I have my mom to help watch the kids when I want to go for a few hours to one of these events. So just that alone, and a lot of people that are single mothers and that are not single mothers, they don't have that support system. So it's like, I have that person who's there for me and who's willing to watch the kids when I need to go to these things that are about my passion. Whereas here, I have nobody that can help do that. And here, there's no events that are really happening like that in Spanish or English. So it's like, I'm staying here when I know what I want to pursue. And yeah, I could keep doing this online, but I feel like that's not enough anymore. I've gotten to that place where I came here for healing. And I thought I could build a life here. But without the support, this life doesn't feel like it's enough. It feels like it's going to be more struggle after struggle. Whereas that little bit of support with the things that I have to deal with, giving up my space. And it's like, I'll eventually get my space back. I'll have to deal with that temporarily. But once I get my finances back up, once things work out, I will have my own space. And that's what I have to look at. Like, I don't feel like I should be staying somewhere just because I have my space. And yeah, I feel peace of mind. But anywhere you go, you can create peace of mind. It's just your perception and how you look at it. So for me, it's like the support is like feeling like at the forefront. So it's like I can have a break and pursue my passions in the physical world. I can actually do what my soul is calling me to do instead of just doing it online, talking to camera. Like, that will still be something that I do, but now I want to expand. Everything's about expansion, not staying comfortable in your surroundings. You got what you needed out of this space. Now it's time to move on. That's how I feel. But I just have to make sure that I'm not going backwards, and it's actually something that's going to grow, and I'm going to be able to handle the environment that I'm in. accept that I'm giving up my space for a little while, handle it because it's only temporary, it's not forever. Things will keep growing and expanding because that's on the journey that I am. I'm not staying stagnant. I came here to grow and expand, heal, and now it's time for me to move on and grow and expand. So that's the kind of decision that I'm trying to come up with. I keep going back and forth, but my soul is just nagging away at me to tell me that it's time to go back, but it's not going backward, it's going forward.